I would now like to introduce you to Shobhit Varshney. He's Vice President and Senior Partner for the Americas AI and IoT Leader at IBM to finish us out. Along with him, please welcome Carla Eid from PepsiCo. She is Senior Vice President of Data and AI Architecture and Governance. Welcome, Carla. Welcome, Shobhit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Please. Carla, it's been such a pleasure working alongside with Pepsi on your generative AI journey. Thank you so much for all the trust you've placed in us in such a critical mission for you.
It has definitely been a great partnership. We learned a lot together. IBM has been instrumental in advancing our internal knowledge around GenAI concepts, potential use cases, technology capabilities needed, and how to design and deploy GenAI solutions.
Thank you, Carla. I don't think you guys realize the scale at which Pepsi works. Pepsi products are enjoyed 1 billion times a day globally. Just imagine the scale that we're talking about here. When you talk about computer vision models or forecasting, manufacturing, things of that nature, the scale at which they do data and AI is just insane. They're really a data AI company that just happens to make some amazing products. For me, it's been Cheetos, big Cheetos guy. So Carla, given that context, can you share with us how are you thinking about scaling AI responsibly?
Yes, so at Pepsi, we think about this as 3 pillars. Number 1, establishing responsible AI across the enterprise globally. Number 2, establishing a unified AI technology platform with reusable services. And number 3, driving AI culture around training and adoption of responsible AI practices. We've made good progress against these 3 pillars. Of course, the world of AI constantly changes and we continuously learn and adapt.
That's absolutely right. So Carla, framework, absolutely amazing framework. Can you think a little bit deeper and talk about how you're operationalizing responsible AI in such a global scale across Pepsi?
Sure. We have been deploying AI for a while, but last year we developed a formal responsible AI framework with a dedicated team around it. So then we built policies and standard operating procedures. At the scale of PepsiCo, we had teams all over the world coming up with AI and GenAI ideas and POCs that we had to create a governance board to assess, validate, and approve AI use cases against responsible AI principles, identify risks, and mitigate actions. We are at a point of our journey where we feel we have a good structure and operating model in place.
Thank you. So Carla, the position that you are in, you are held accountable to give coaching and advice to all your teams. There's been an explosion of AI technologies across every vendor. Every vendor that comes to Pepsi has generative AI baked into their product. So given that context, how are you thinking about building a data and AI platform that can think about this responsibly, can look at the trust, security, things of that nature at a global scale? Can you talk about those reusable services a bit more?
Definitely. You and I, Shobhit, have been collaborating for a while on defining a data and AI North Star architecture. We started by clearly articulating what technology capabilities are needed at every layer of the stack, along with precise definitions and ensuring they are messy. This then helps us identify gaps and fairly evaluate AI vendor tools. Now with IBM, we're also building a centralized platform that provides reusable AI services for any team across PepsiCo to leverage to accelerate time to value using standardized architecture. So on top of the platform, we're leveraging tools like from Microsoft and IBM to govern models, inputs, and outputs. We're also exploring what's next for lifecycle risk management and observability. With the platform, instead of every team having to govern AI models and incorporate responsible AI practices, we can do that centrally, empowering teams to focus on driving business value.
I think that, Carla, that has helped quite a bit in understanding what are the patterns that are being used across the entire company. And you have a centralized way of thinking about it, saying for this particular kind of use case, this pattern is what you guys have invested in, cleaned it up, and you know that's scalable. So you have a central point of where you can do all the governance. It's been great partnering on that piece with you. I'm so thankful for all the partnership that we have had with you and Magesh and the team. On behalf of all of us here, big thank you for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you so much, Shobhit. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I really look forward to all the great things to come.
Thanks so much, Carla. So team, I want to just recap where we are with Watson X. Today we heard quite a bit from Heather and the team. Increasing confidence of use cases going from pilots to productions, that takes a lot. There's data exhaust coming out of the metrics, the evaluations, being able to comply with regional requirements, things of that nature, it becomes very critical. Second, there's a lot of brand reputation that's at risk here. If you don't get this right, if you produce content that has not been vetted, does not follow your brand principles, that exposes you quite a bit on your reputation. It takes years of trust to build that, and you can lose that in a second. So there's a lot that goes into ensuring that the model outputs are secure, they're safe, and they've been vetted, and they reflect the values of the brand itself. Overall, just simple things like reporting against compliance. So a new act comes out, EU acts and things of that nature. All of a sudden you have this onus burden of trying to go look at every model that's running across all your hybrid clouds, on IBM Cloud, on Azure, AWS, Google's of the world, consolidating all of that, trying to figure out what the metrics are for the compliance reporting. There's a lot of human burden that's needed. These technologies take that away from you, and it can keep you compliant really quickly. Frees up a lot more time on focusing on the business value creation, so you can invest more on the use cases, on the actual models behind the scenes, so you can deploy them, get true value, versus spending your time on reporting compliance and making sure these models are accurate. That also accelerates your time to value. Like Carla was saying earlier, because we can centralize all of that governance in a single spot, the specific teams that are in each line of business, the marketing, the legal, the procurement, they can focus more on driving business value and accelerating that and capture within the quarter, within the year. So there's a central function that's dedicated to ensuring that they're all compliant. And last, we can recapture a lot of benefits that would otherwise have been lost because the models are drifting. Drift has been Achilles' heel for all the large language models. And drift could be defined as content drift. The content itself has changed. For example, if you train a model for chips in this case, and you're putting it in production, and now you're getting some questions around beverages, right? Those are two different, the content itself has changed. Or it could be things around structure. We routinely go work in the contact center space and start summarizing emails or summarizing call center recordings. If a model has been built for call center recordings, you shouldn't just apply it to an email because the structure of the content has changed. So you're looking at all kinds of different drifts, and it's a team sport. You figure out what's the right way of creating the right evaluations end to end, take the data exhaust, you're looking for drifts early on so that you don't lose any of the business value that you would otherwise not been able to capture. So it's been a great partnership with Pepsi and clients like Carla on doing this across hybrid set of clouds. Like I said, this is a techno-social problem. We need to ensure that our values are well reflected in the AI models that we are deploying. I'm going to wrap up by pointing you to a few other sessions that we are having at Think. Tomorrow we have, in the keynote, we'll have a full set of demonstrations on what watsonx.gov looks like. We'll walk through the life cycle of models and show you in live action what it looks like. Then we have a roundtable. Half an hour from now, we'll have an opportunity to sit in tables of 10 each, so peers can discuss their own generative AI journey. Carla and I and the team will be there as well. If you have any questions, please join us at the roundtable. It's in room 153A. And then the Tech Bites is happening where we get hands-on. You can actually log into the system with our teams, and they'll get into all levels of detail around how the .gov pulls in all of our hybrid clouds. But it's been a great journey. We've all learned collectively a lot in the last 18 months, but at least we have come to a point where the community understands how to manage these models better. We understand how the models behave, so you can talk to them in a better way. And I think I'm very pumped about the future. Carla, any closing comments on where you see governance going?
No, it's very exciting and very important to scale AI responsibly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carla, for joining us today.